Hello and welcome to another video. My name is TGH Travels and today I'll be continuing my World Voyage podcast and talking about China, which was the next stop on our big adventure back in 2019. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So we wanted to travel on the train on the Trans-Mongolian Railway from Mongolia to China. However, the train we originally wanted to catch was overbooked, which affected other travellers. So we weren't the only ones, other people were affected too, as evidence as we saw them flying with us on our way from Ulaanbaatar to Beijing. So we did fly using a Chinese airline. And we flew from Mongolia to China, where we visited the Temple of Heaven and the Great Wall. And we had one full day in China, so it was a short trip to China. We didn't stay there long. So let's talk about the country of China. It's one of the most interesting countries to me personally. I really like learning about China, especially its ancient history. It's officially called the People's Republic of China, and it is the second most populous country with around 1.4 billion inhabitants. Now, it was the most populous country in the world, however, India has overtaken that. China has been a communist state since 1949, but its history dates back to 2000 BC, and it's home to the Great Wall, which we'll be visiting. So we stayed in a hotel right in Beijing, and we stayed there for 2 nights. And there were these birds that they had in the hotel, in these cages, and they would mimic sounds that people would make when they came in. So a popular one was ni hao. They managed to pronounce that pretty well. Ni hao is Mandarin for hello. So whenever guests come in saying ni hao, these birds have replicated that word and repeat it whenever anyone walks in. So I thought that was quite sweet. So Beijing, we were driven around the capital city, and we had a walk around as well. It was quite busy, no surprise, but it was still fun to walk around and explore. It is the world's most populous capital city, 21 million inhabitants, so it's pretty big. Its history dates back to 1045 BC, so it's a very old city. Cars can only be driven on certain days of the week, depending on the digit at the end of a number plate. Depending on the number plate is when you can drive your car in the city, simply because there's so many cars on the road. So that's how they manage the traffic. So we went to the Temple of Heaven. This Temple of Heaven was built in the Ming Dynasty, sometime between 1406 and 1420 AD. It's a complex of imperial religious Confucian buildings, and is located in Dongzheng in Beijing. The British and the French actually occupied the Temple of Heaven during the Second Opium War against China, and the Temple of Heaven was eventually opened to the public in 1918. Here are a few more photographs of the Temple of Heaven. Dragons are an important symbol in China's identity, as well as other creatures. And there's lots of blue, lots of gold, so quite a grand place. Now we're going to be talking about the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is actually a series of fortifications designed for protection from various nomadic tribes. The earliest walls date back to 7 BC, with more being built in the Ming Dynasty, which was between 1368 and 1644. It has watchtowers, troop barracks and garrison stations, so it's designed for defence. Here are a few more photographs. We took a gondolier up to the Great Wall, and here are the steps, very steep steps that we took going up and down the wall. We were blessed to not have that many tourists, so we were able to get some good shots of the wall and walk along it quite comfortably. Here is a toboggan run. There is an option to walk up and down the wall. However, you can get the chairlift up and take the toboggan down, which is what we did. And it goes round in sort of like this loop around down the hill. So here's and on the right picture you can see the gondolas going up and the toboggan on the left coming down. So same with the left picture here, where you can see the curvature of the toboggan and the chairlift going over. So this is arriving at the Great Wall. So we took the chairlift up, and there's me disembarking, and we walked up a little bit further to get to the wall. Here is a shot of the wall heading up the mountain, and there's pictures of my parents and I as we sat down and had photographs with the wall. We did some more exploring up and down the wall and continued to get some more photographs, and then we headed down on the toboggan to the tea ceremony. Where we tried the tea, which was really good, I must say. Tea originally came from China, so it's an important drink in their cultural identity. We then had a meal back in Beijing, where we had Peking duck, which was arranged for us with a chef preparing the duck, as you can see in the picture here. So we had the Chinese cuisine of duck, and again we had the tea. In my opinion, it was the best meal I had in China, and it was just an amazing meal. So that was really good food. So this is going to be a short and sweet episode. We only spent one day in China, particularly in Beijing. I would like to go back to China and explore different parts, I must say. I think it's a really interesting country, and I'm really fascinated by its history and its culture, the arts. So I would love to go back to China, maybe someday in the future. But that's it for now. This was the penultimate episode in the World Railway Voyage. The final episode is going to be in Singapore, which I'll be talking about in the last video. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time for listening to me. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and be sure to comment what you thought about the video, what you think I should add or change. I appreciate your time for watching. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video. This is TGH Travels signing off.